Demon Goddess tutorial. Here we are, ready or not. So I always like to start out with my brows because I like to make them very sharp, and you'll see what I do. But first, I'm pretty sloppy with my application because I know that I can just go in and clean it up later with concealer. This is the Pretty Vulgar eyeliner. I know that was kind of hard to see. And as you can see, this is now cleaned up. It doesn't have those weird marks on the outside, messing up the shape of the brow that I love to go for. I love that sharpness. Of course, we gotta blend out that concealer. Here is the Bad Girl Bang mascara that I will use as my brow gel. Sometimes I will use colored mascara for this. And then I'm going into Wine and Dine in the Violet Voss eyeshadow palette and making just a very dramatic cat eye shape. I'm then taking a red that I will not disclose the palette from because I do not support this person anymore, but I do not have another red as an option. Same with the orange and yellow. But I am just taking the time to blend these together after I go back in a few more times with each color to make sure that they're completely saturated and also blended together. To blend out the red, I go in with a lighter color that can help blend that out, and then I go in with a skin color shade to fully blend and smoke it out. There's nothing on this brush, but sometimes you can just wipe it off. I clearly need more of this, but this is the NYX Do Me Up primer. I love it. It helps with my dry skin. It's also tacky, so it helps keep my makeup in place. I also like to make sure that I hydrate my lips far in advance from the lipstick so that the lipstick does not look cracked. Blending out harsh lines is always very important. Your fingers actually help blend in the product more because of the warmth of your fingers. I know I see people put on foundation first, and even where they would put concealer on. Of course, I have to go in with 2 concealers to cover up those under eyes, because girl. But for me, I have to go with the least amount of makeup possible for my dry as hell skin, because the more product I put on, the cakier it can look for me. Also, I'm a fucking disco ball. Hey, plug your hole stickers. Use code PRECIOUSShayna for 15% off your purchase. This is another instance where using the warmth of my fingers truly helps with the makeup application process. I have very fine line wrinkles underneath my eyes that crease a lot, so doing that process really makes a difference for me. Eyeliner is just kind of one of those things that I've had to learn through trial and error and just a lot of practice throughout the years. It's something you just have to practice at. I'm kind of going for this really animated eye that I've been really loving recently, where you draw the line in the crease. It helps the eyes stand out more, I'd say. I found that baking has helped with my under eyes not crease. I have very dry skin, so this used to not work, but I've been using really great products these days, so I think that's helped a lot. Only fake mink hair, honey. I just kind of had to keep that in, I don't know why. I clearly just didn't think through the transition very well. I don't know what I was thinking with that, but moving along. I'm going to be adding a lot of color to my face now. I really wanted to make my whole skin just red, but I had to drive an hour for the photo shoot in my car, and I really just didn't want to have to clean that up afterwards, and I would definitely need help with applying all of that. You always want to kind of pinch your lashes together too to blend them together. This unblended line under my eyes is really going to help with the animated effect that I'm kind of going for. Yo, but look how long I'm staring. My contacts were fucking fighting me the whole time. Still blending the lashes. And again. Squeeze them together. I wanted to go in with red to kind of blend out that black line a bit, but not so much that you can't see the lines of it. And also this is going to help with the red skin effect that I'm going for. This is liquid latex, and clearly my bottle is very old. It's a big bottle though, so the bottom of it is still good. And don't worry, I realize that this is not how you're supposed to really apply prosthetics like this. Normally you want to apply Vaseline over your hairs first so you don't get the Prosade in it because it'll rip your hairs out. It was in this moment that I realized how strong the Prosade was. But sometimes I like to think of it as a forehead waxing. I also know that using tissue or cotton balls in this instance would have made the base more secure. However, for what I was doing, I did not think that that would be necessary, and this was good enough. Now I'm really going to be going in with adding the color to me, the demon woman. So since I don't want my whole skin to be red, I thought, you know, I can just do red highlights. That would be fine. So I went in with red and pink and just kind of went to town on adding accents, highlights, and shadows that were red and really helped define the shape of my head. I always like to bring the color up into my ears to make it more realistic and three-dimensional. Now I'm going to be going in with my face paint. This is safe for the skin. This is for kids. I got this off of Amazon, and I'm just going to be adding in blending of the horns and veins. Now I'll be going in with this black Sephora lipstick. And I like to use a lip brush on the outer corners of my mouth because things need to be very exact for me. Especially when I'm using black, I like to use my lip brush. Small fun fact as well, my bottom lip is kind of crooked, so I have to be very careful of how I draw it on. Now I'm going in with the Super Fanned Out Mascara. I didn't mean not to show this one, it just kind of slipped my mind. And of course, again, you can always go in to clean up with concealer or just with a flat brush. Again, just adding more saturation and dimension to this makeup. I think going in multiple times with a color can really help with dimensions. When I say I spent 2 hours combing and cutting knots out of this wig because it has moved with me 5 times without being placed properly and brushed out, it was a bit of a bitch, but I think it was worth it. This is the outfit change, ready in 3, 2, 1. Much better. Now that I have access to my collarbones, I can make sure that the illusion isn't broken just because you can see the top half of my torso now. Just accenting the shadows and the highlights with the red color makes it seem more ethereal, but still realistic. To an extent, obviously. I love adding highlight for highlights. Only makes sense, right? Adding highlight to all of the things I want to make look lifted and just help certain things pop. One earring, 2 earrings. And this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I can't wait to show you guys the photos from the photo shoot that I did with Peter and Caitlin. I will finally be making prints, and those will be available on my Patreon, link in bio below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and leave a comment below. If you didn't, you can still tell me what you thought below. You can go ahead and find my other social medias in the bio below as well. It was super cool to finally meet Caitlin. We've been online friends for a while, and we know each other through mutual friends, so it was really cool to finally meet her. There's this old man that worked at the QFC store, and he's like, whoa, you look awesome, when I was checking out, doing the self-checkout thing. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. He's like, you're really getting the spirit, huh? And I was like, yeah. And I pointed to the pumpkins that I got, because I got some pumpkins. And then he was like, you're my favorite customer today. And I was like, thank you. You're my favorite today, too.